Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? My name is Tay, and welcome back to my channel Inspire Me, where I talk about current or relatable topics, all from a godly perspective. And today's topic is called Have You Disconnected from Your Lot, Part 2. Now, I previously did Part 1. I recorded weeks ago. Could have been longer. I feel like God didn't want me to release it yet, but now I kind of like see. I really wasn't planning on doing a Part 2. It was just going to be that Part 1. That's it. The reason why I wanted to bring about Part 2, because second person, if you didn't see the video, you gotta see the video. But like I said in that video, like, I never really had riff-raff or anything with that second person. So by me disconnected from them, I knew that it would probably be right, but I didn't want to leave off in that way. So I still want to check on them, especially since they kind of like knew what I was going through with, no home and this other things as well. So I kind of like wanted to tell them when I got blessed with my home. However, I didn't tell them at first. Like a few months later, I don't know if I had a dream or it was just like something I was thinking about, a vision or something. But I was kind of like telling them like, yeah, the reason why I didn't tell you sooner or something I was saying is because like I wanted to tell them by saying like you're a little bit negative, and I just really didn't want that pressure or nothing like that. Even though it was a good thing with me getting my own place, but it was other things that I also told them that God didn't manifest yet. So I just didn't want to tell them. Months later, I called them because I kind of like wanted to tell them, like I said, we just ended up not talking, and I didn't want them to be like, what happened to Shantae? She didn't call me no more. Or if they find out, I got my place, I don't want them to hear from somebody else. And it's like, wow, she didn't even tell me, and so I kind of like wanted to, reach out to them. I pretty much just told them, like, asked them how they was doing, different things like that. We had a brief conversation, and I told them I got my place, and they was happy for me. And they was like, wow. I don't know if they said when you got it or if I just volunteered first to say, I got it a few months ago. And when I told them, they was like, really? And you just not telling me? And I was like pretty much telling them like dealing with other things, and I really just didn't want to just say it then and there. Even though I told a lot of people, even y'all, that about my experience, but like I said, I just didn't tell them yet because I wasn't really talking to them at that particular moment. So they was like, okay then, and we had like a brief little conversation, and that was it. And I hung up. So I was thinking like, maybe they're gonna like, start, reaching out to me now and, seeing how I'm doing, since they know that air is, fresh now, you feel me? It ain't foul or anything like that. So like I said, I wanted to like, talk to them every once in a while, but I still didn't want to talk to them like I was talking to them originally. I still wanted to talk to them, but I didn't really want to talk to them like how I was originally, just telling them about different things like that. A few days later, I was expecting an important phone call, and I was kind of like occupied doing something, so I heard my phone ring. So I thought it was them calling me, so I reached down to like saw what I was doing and get my phone. I saw that it was, the person I was talking about. We didn't have no riff-raff or anything, so I was thinking it was them calling me. So I was like, I'll just call them back. But I was thinking like, I wonder why they're calling so soon, because I just talked to them a few days ago. Or is it because something like serious, something major? So like, okay, I'll just call them back when I finish doing what I'm doing. So I did. I said, yeah, I was talking the other day, and pretty much like they proved themselves to be trustworthy, and that was never the case. Like I knew that was trustworthy, so that was never the case. Like I said, the case was, just them being negative at times, and sometimes God just don't want you to reveal everything to people, especially when they don't have the same vision as you as well too. That's another thing. Like with me, I'm a person that goes out on the land with God. So God can like say, for instance, go to this home and I want you to purchase it. And you might say, God, this home is in a nice neighborhood, not an apartment. It's not even just a regular house. It's a big house. And then you told me to purchase it. Purchase it with what? But God is touching the people. He's touching people's heart to give you favor. And say, for instance, if you tell this to, a friend or a loved one, like God is telling me, like I really feel in my spirit that God wants me to get this place. And instead of them like just supporting you and saying, gotta make a way, I don't know where you in the funds or whatever case, but gotta look out. Instead of them saying something like that, it's like, girl, where's you finna get the money from? You know your situation, like, where's the money gonna come from? Now, they might be saying it out of a sincere heart, like, if you look for the natural eye, you don't have the money for that home. Like, why is you in that neighborhood looking for the home? However, that's what God told you. He's not going to lie to you. But by you telling them, it's like, that don't make sense whatsoever. So it's like, certain things, God, He don't want you to tell certain people because they're not in that span as you. Like, they don't have, their faith is not great like yours. So you can't tell certain things to certain people. When I called back and they was like, yeah, pretty much, remember we was talking different things like that. And I'm just trying to figure out, I was trying to figure out, why you didn't tell me. And then I paused. I was thinking to myself, like, this what this person is thinking of this whole time, like, why I didn't tell them sooner. And I pretty much, like I said, when I first talked to them that week or so ago, I kind of like told them it wasn't true, but it just wasn't all of it. You know how people tell partial truth, but they don't tell the whole story? Okay, it was like the partial truth, but it just wasn't the whole story. I was dealing with certain stuff, and like I told them, and I should have, like I said in that vision or dream, I should have just told them, which I still didn't want to tell them exactly like, okay, because you're a little bit negative at times, but I did tell them because I feel like I was going through certain things, dealing with certain things, and I just didn't want to tell you at that moment. Now, I did tell you, I didn't tell you right then and there, but I did tell you, so I didn't think it was an issue. And that's how I pretty much told them. And they was like, oh, okay then, but you could kind of like tell their tone, like they really wasn't like feeling it, like they were feeling some type of way. We had like a very brief conversation after that, and that was it. But that put me in the mind of, you have to disconnect from your lot, whoever your lot might be. They could be a loved one, they could be a friend, be a companion. And like I said in the other video, I'm not talking about a husband or a wife, but however, if they're toxic to the point where, it's another revelation that God just gave me, thank you, Jesus. You know how Lot was married. Of course, he couldn't disconnect from his wife. However, the toxicity of his wife caused her own self demise. She caused her own self's demise. Lot didn't have to disconnect from his wife. By her looking back when God told her not to leave from Sodom and Gomorrah, by her looking back, she turned to a pillar of salt. Lot didn't have to turn her to a pillar of salt. He didn't have to disconnect from her physically. She was right with him, leaving Sodom and Gomorrah. However, when she turned back, she caused her own demise. So if you're married and your spouse is not lined up with God, you don't have to do anything. Just your prayers alone can cause that person to line up so they can go with you, or be disconnected from you, and God calls it to be disconnected. So just be mindful of that. And like I said, I'm not referring if you have a bae or something and you're not married. We're not talking about that. You feel me? Because your lot will hold you up from your blessings, cause you to have arguments, and not just between you two, but other people. As you seen, when Lot and Abraham was arguing, it was with their herdsmen and different people as well. It wasn't just between those two. So by you being connected to the wrong person, it can cause you to have riffraff with other people. I know people who I used to be cool with, and not to say that we're having like beef like that, but I disconnected from them. And by doing being connected to other people, it's like, okay, since this person is no longer talking to her, then I'm not gonna talk to her. I think I said a post was like, pretty much the wrath that person's gonna endure is the same wrath you're gonna endure if you want to keep on going along with the exact same person. That person didn't do nothing wrong to you at all, but you want to have the energy of hate and not want to deal with that person because the other person is not dealing with them no longer. Okay, keep on, and you're gonna see what happened with the Lord with that. That's revelation that God gave me regarding that. You have to disconnect from your lot, y'all. And it's not to say that every once in a blue moon I'm still gonna, reach out and see how that person is doing, because I'm not going to totally, like I said in that other video, I'm pretty sure Abraham didn't totally just stop speaking to Lot. Pretty sure every once in a blue moon he'll probably check on his nephew, the same way with me. I'm not going to totally just stop speaking to these people. Now, there are people that I have totally stopped speaking to. If you don't disconnect from somebody, God will cause them to disconnect from you in other ways. So there are some people that God will have you disconnect totally from, and then there's other people that you can disconnect from in that way that you were connected to them previously. So like I said, I would still reach out every once in a while, see how they're doing, and even when God gave me my manifestation of this as a blessing, of course I'm going to share to them as well, if the Lord's will. However, I'm not going to tell them everything that I'm going through and different things like that anymore. And another thing God had to show me, like when you're facing a hard time, sometimes you don't want to talk to people and tell them certain things. They might not say anything like make you feel better or anything, but it's like you don't want to keep telling them negative stuff like this happening to me and this happening to me. Like it make you feel worse about yourself. Like the time when I was going through my wilderness season, I just didn't want to keep telling the person bad news and like this and that and what you gonna do and this and that and even when I like finally got my blessing, I still didn't want to tell them, but like God didn't show me this scenario until like later on. Okay, remember when I was telling you like when I was in the shelter, I made friends. So like about once or twice I had reached out to them and they reached out to me and they talk to me and different things like that. So I thought it was gonna be like a ongoing thing because I didn't want to look like okay she left out of this place and left us in here and now it's like she ain't nowhere to be seen or heard. And I don't want to seem like that, like it's just forget about us because we still here and now she's out. So I don't want to look like that. So it's not even just I didn't want to look like that. I generally like looked at them as I contacted a few people that I had their number a couple of times, and when I say they didn't answer or call me back, that's one person, and then the other person text me back, but you can tell they kind of like me. I can tell when a person want to deal with me or not. So it's like they were saying that was kind of like had something else to do, but I could tell like they're saying like you make time for people who you want to make time for. Well, I feel like this was one of those scenarios. So I'm like okay then, and I just left it alone. But I was thinking to myself at first like why they ain't really talking to me no more. Of course I didn't make it a big deal, but it's like a little bit after the scenario after I told you the person hit me back up. It was pretty much saying like, why you didn't been tell me early and this and that. And when I really thought about it, like, maybe they don't want to talk to me like that because by them talking to me, it's like a constant reminder of that they're still in that place. I don't know if they're still in that place. I don't really know, but I'm just saying if they are, it's like every time I talk to them, it's like, yeah, girl, I'm still in this place, or yeah, girl, a month, 2 months has passed. 3 months passed, a year passed, and it's like they're still in the exact same place, and it's like God had to tell you like how you think they feel every time, even though you're not that person to say, oh, you sit in that place, so talk down or think negative about that, but it's like how do you think they will feel if every time they talk to you and they know that you're out but they're sitting in that place? It's like it won't make them feel good. So the same way I was like, yeah, that do make a lot of sense. So God had to show me it's like the exact same way when you talk to that other person before you got your place. It's like by you telling them certain things is like a constant reminder like you're not there yet. Even though you got this place, there's certain things that God has not manifested yet. Something else that they said too regarding something else, and it's like, yeah, I knew it was a reason why I didn't kind of like tell you. Sometimes you just don't want to tell certain people until that manifestation happen until God bless. And like I said, it could be don't tell people certain people because it hasn't came to pass yet, and by you telling, it could delay, it happening. Or if you do tell, some people like they want to see your downfall, they want to see your hurt. Not everybody, but certain people. So it's like by you telling them certain things, they want to see you in that hard time, stuff like that. That's the second way. And the third one is like if they not like in that light and they don't want to see you like that, but it's like you don't want to tell people all the negative stuff that's going on. You just want to wait till the manifestation happen. Some people may not have the same faith as you, and it's like some things that you do, it don't make sense. Like I even said one time I was trying to do something I think I didn't have the money. It's a lot of times I didn't have the money, like even to come down here before I bless my place. But if I tell some people, it's like that don't make sense. Why are you even coming up there? You don't got the money. Like that don't make sense. Come on now, you got to make sense when you do certain stuff. Like even when I don't think, yeah, I didn't have the money then. I had to get money for different people, like family members, different things. But I remember somebody was telling me like why you didn't be plan ahead of time, like you don't just ask people at the last minute. And I'm thinking to myself like. I didn't know myself like this just happened on the limb because God just told me, okay, this is what I want you to do. But by them not having the same faith as you, certain things won't make sense to them. But as long as it makes sense to you, that's why you can't tell certain people certain things too. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say regarding it, y'all. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel, y'all. Have a blessed day.